Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today and coming to watch my video. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, and I produce these videos totally free for you, just to inspire you and hopefully help you along your paper craft journey. Just to say right at the beginning here, if you want to buy any of the products that I use today in this project, they are available in my online shop and there's a link below. Right, let's get on with our card. I'm very late posting this. I posted this for a blog hop ages ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that, and haven't got around to bringing you the video yet. I'm just really, because I haven't had time to make the video, so I'm just putting that right today. So we're going to make this card. I didn't say at the time when I posted it, but actually it was a case of a card in the mini catalogue. So this is our mini catalogue. I'm trying to find the front, but that's not the front. Just trying to find the front cover to show you. This is our mini catalogue that runs from January to June, so with lots of spring and summer products in it. And on page 82 of this, we have this sweet strawberry set and strawberry builder punch. And this card is the card that I cased. Obviously that one's got strawberries on it, and I changed mine round and did flowers on it from the Pretty Perennials set. But this was where I got my inspiration. These catalogues are a real font of inspiration. I can go through and look and find projects to case. If I'm ever stuck, if I lose my mojo, I can always go through the catalogue and find one that I'd like to case. So case means copy and selectively edit, or copy and share everything. Up to you, whichever one you interpret. This is obviously I've selectively edited this one. Right, we're going to change the colours as I usually do on my videos. I don't want to replicate exactly the same card. So this one here used Highland Heather. Today we're going to be using Flirty Flamingo. It's not a colour that I use an awful lot. It's not my favourite pink in the whole world. I wish we had a nicer pink, but we don't. So I thought I would go with it today and just see. I think this card in the catalogue is Flirty Flamingo. You can see how similar they are. So I thought today I would go with it and try and do that Flirty Flamingo. So I've got a white card base, which is my usual size. So this is half a sheet. So an A4 sheet would be like that. I've cut it in half and I've scored halfway along there. Actually, I've cut it at 15 today. It's 15. So an A4 sheet, you could get one card blank that's 15 centimetres and one card blank that's 14.5 centimetres is what I tend to do, just to make the measurements even. And then my panel is a centimetre smaller than my card blank. So if I put it up in the corner there, you can see that it's been cut. This is a centimetre, but if you put it in the middle, that means you get a half a centimetre border all the way round. I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm not going to stick that on there quite yet. I've got my panel, and the first thing that I need to do, if I have my sample there, is stamp these flowers in the background. So I'm using the Pretty Perennials set. So we're using this flower and the fill-in, these leaves and the fill-in, and I'm going to use For You as my greeting today, my sentiment on my card. So I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo pad and the stamp that's the outline stamp, and I'm just going to stamp randomly. So I've got my piece of black and white here, so that's going to go back there. So that's going to give me a bit of a visual aid. So what I might do is just put a little bit of a pencil line along here, just so I know where that's going to be, and then I know where I need to stamp my flowers, because otherwise they're going to be covered up. So I'm just gonna, and they will show up, but we're self-colouring here, Flirty Flamingo onto Flirty Flamingo, but they'll show up because they do. The coordinating stamps are slightly darker than the cardstock. And I'm doing some a little bit stamped off. So, and there. So when you've done that, you can then put your card, your bit of black and white, which I've now lost, there it is, on there, and see whether you think that's enough. I think that's probably enough. So I'm going to just put that away for a sec, and I am going to take a rubber. I've got an eraser on the end of my pencil, my faithful pencil. And if I was doing this on my own in my craft room, I would just leave it a second more for the ink to dry. But actually, it's okay. Just do that. Actually, that's quite weird. It doesn't want to rub out under the stamp. Usually that rubs out really well. That's all right though. Right, now I'm going to cut this with a point. So I'm going to cut in line with the diagonal. And then just assess where I want that to go. Is that too long? Do I want it a bit shorter than that? Actually, I think that's all right. I don't mind that being that long. It is actually 1.7 centimetres wide, and up to the point, I will just measure it so that you've got it. It is about 11 and a half, actually, nearer 11 and a half. That goes there. It's a bit wider than the one that I had on my other card, but again, I don't think that really matters. So I'm going to take my Tombow, just put a little bit of Tombow on the back here. Like so, and then glue that down. Like that. So we've got all the background on there now then. And that can now be mounted. Oh, that's not very straight, is it? Just make sure, just give it a look at before you let it dry completely, because you want that to be straight. And then that is going to mount onto our card blank. So I'll just quickly do that. Like so. I am growing to love those strawberries. I wasn't really sure I wanted cards with fruit on, but I've seen so many gorgeous samples. Oh, that's upside down. Put it on upside down. That I might be tempted with the strawberry set after all, actually. There we go. Mind you, I bought so many flowers from the new catalogue that I've told myself I have to use all of them at least once before I can buy anything else. It's no good having stamp sets that sit uninked on my shelf. I'm trying to tell myself that. And there are only a certain amount of hours in every day to get things made. Right, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp the flowers. So I've got a little bit of Whisper White cardstock here. And right, now what I'm going to do, it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but I'm going to stamp the infill first. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm just going to find a bit of scrap paper as well. The reason I'm doing that is it's easier to see through and match up the outline than it is to do it the other way round, I find. So I'm going to stamp the outline. What did I say? No, this one first. Just makes it easier to see that one. I think that's what I meant. Hey ho. Right, okay. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a little black dot at the bottom of my stamp there and a little black dot at the bottom of this one, because I've worked out where they line up so that I know that if I have them on the blocks like this, they will line up on top of one another. So you might just want to just think about doing that. So we need 3 of these. So I'm stamping off, so they will look quite pale to start with. And then, now I'm going to have to put my head over here, so sorry if I get my head in the way. You can see my roots that need doing. There we go. Actually, I think I've done this the wrong way, so I'm going to do it the other way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the outline first. I did think that when I was doing it. I was just not thinking clearly. So I'm going to stamp the outline first. So there you go. I make the mistakes so you don't have to. And now if you come in, you will be able to see much more clearly. Yeah, that's easier to line up, much easier. You can see the outline through the stamp and you can line it up much better. So I would say do the outline first. With these 2-step stamps, I always make that mistake. I always try and do it the other way around and never remember that it's easier to do the darker thing first, because you can see that more clearly when you come to do the other. And because I'm using pink, it stained the stamp so they're not quite clear anymore. Right, so there's my 3 flowers, and then I just need to do three leaves as well. So again, I'm going to do the outline first. That's the way I did it, wasn't it? The dark first. I've got to remember that. The dark first. So I'm just going to do 3 little sets of leaves. And 3 sets of stamped off leaves over top. Yeah, it's much easier to do it this way. Definitely the way to do it. And I'm actually quite enjoying this pattern on my scrap paper as well. Thinking, oh, that could inspire me with another design. There we are. Right, okay. Now what I'm going to do, because I don't want to bore you all to death, I am going to die cut, but I'm only going to do 1 of each of these, and then I've got some already that I've done prepared. But I did just want to demonstrate doing 1 of these. So just put my grid paper out, because otherwise my die cutter makes it move all over the place. Love this little die cutter, this little mini die cutter. So handy to have. Just have it sitting on my desk and it's always there when I need it. Right, okay, so these bottom 3 are the ones that I'm going to use. And I have got oh, I did have it marked on my die as well. It's come off. I did have a black dot on my die. I'm going to have to find some way to mark my die. I marked it with a Sharpie, but it's obviously not stuck on there very well. Right, but I'm going to cut out 1 of those, and I'm also going to cut out a leaf. So you just line these up. I'm using washi tape as per usual, just to line these up. If you've got the magnetic plate, which you won't have for this machine because it's been taken back into production because it was faulty. But if you have a magnetic plate for your die cutter, you could use that. I always use washi tape. I find it a lot easier. I guess it's just what you get used to. There. Right, there, I'm just going to do those 2 just to show, but I've already got what else I need here cut out, so I don't need to do all of them. Just put that to one side. Bring back my grid paper, and then we'll bring back this, and I need some dimensionals. Luckily ordered some more dimensionals on my order that just came, so I was running low. Here we go. And then we're going to put a couple of little dimensionals. Probably could use one of the bigger ones right in the middle here if you wanted to. But I'm just going to use 3 little ones just to give it some substance. And another one. There we go. And then those, don't need that one. Those, you can see on my other one, I'd arranged around there. So you could put them on, before you take the backs off the dimensionals, you could put them on and just try and arrange them how you want them to be. I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to put 1 there. This one I'm going to do slightly high. I'm just going to make a difference to my pattern actually, because my strip is wider. I'm going to do one a bit lower there. I was going to do it higher, but because my strip is wider, just affects the placement. Like I said, just try your placement first before you actually commit with the dimensionals. There we go. And then the little leaves are just going to be glued straight back on the card blank. Straight onto the card. Do 1 in amongst these ones if we can get it in. Oops, doesn't want to go in. Maybe do it up here. There we go. Do it around to that side a bit. There we go. This doesn't need to tuck under very much, but you might find that your dimensionals just get in the way a little bit. There we go. Do that onto the side like that. And then this one at the bottom here. There we go, that can tuck under there. And then we just need to do our sentiment, and the centres of the flowers. So I've got a little piece of, I did have a little piece of Whisper White, which I've more or less used now. So let me find another little bit of Whisper White I can use for a sentiment. Oh, Trying to find a little bit. There we go, that will do. Here we go, and we're just going to do for you in Memento Black, Tuxedo Black. So there we go. Oh, that's nice and dark. I re-inked this pad the other day. Okay, so I'm going to, it's a very little sentiment, this one, so I'm not going to cut it off too much. Just like that. And then I'm just going to decide where I want it to go. Yeah, slightly shorter than that, I think. Like that. What do you reckon? Yep. And then we're just going to cut it at a diagonal along here. So that's going to tuck under there like that. Yep, that's fine. I like having cards like this because it just means they're not for any particular occasion, and I can send them to friends or my mum or anyone, just for any occasion. I quite like having them not say happy birthday or thank you or anything like that. There we are. And the last little thing we're going to do, get rid of these bits, is put some centres in. So I've got the in colour dots here, and I was trying to work out before, and I think I still like the yellow best, or maybe the blue. Maybe we'll go with the blue. We'll give the blue a try. This is Misty Moonlight, just to be a bit different. And there we are. Now, of course, you could stamp a couple of little flowers in the inside as well, and a couple of little flowers on the envelope as well, which would make it really nice. But there we are, 2 cards, similar layout, slightly different. This is a bit wider. I think I prefer the thinner one though, and I will just measure that for you so that you have the measurement for that. This is only 1.3, so mine's about 0.4 of a centimetre thick, but it just makes a little bit of a difference. So I would go with the thinner one if I was making that again. But quite like that card. Love that little cluster of flowers. So there we are. Don't forget that Celebration is still on if you're watching this in February 21. Celebration is on for another couple of weeks. You've spent £45 and you get a free item. If you need any catalogues or any other information, please get in touch. I'm always happy to hear from people. But that's it from me today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will be back with you very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.